In this video, we are going to find volumes of prisms and cylinders. Good thing is that when you do the volume of anything that has a top and a bottom that match, whether they're squares, whether they're circles, they could be triangles, they could be rectangles. Basically, the volume for this is just the area of the base times the height. So what changes then is the shape of that base. That's what that big B stands for. So could be a circle, could be a square. So you have to find the area of this versus finding the area of this. That's the only part that changes. But in general, if anything that has a top and a bottom that matches, is just the area of that base times the height. So if you have this one, you have what was called a triangular prism. The prism means you have rectangular sides to them. And then the triangular part just means that's the description of the top and the bottom, the bases. So to find it, we need to figure out what the area of the base is. So let's draw a triangle. If we're going to find the area of that, we're looking at 1/2 base times height, like little base of the triangle, so not a three-dimensional thing. And then here is your triangle. It has 3 on all the sides, but that 2.6 is one of the important pieces. That is the height, 2.6. And then perpendicular to it is this piece down here that's 3. So that thing is 3. So when you're finding this, it's 1/2 the base, which is 2.6, times the height, which is 3. All right, so we're going to multiply that stuff together. You're looking at 0.5 times 2.6 times 3. So we get an area of 3.9. So that is the area of the base. Okay, so I'm going to change that to B because it's the area of the base. All right, so now over to the other formula. Volume equals the area of the base times the actual height of the object. So we're looking at 3.9. That's what we just found. Height of the overall object is 15. And so we are going to multiply those two values together. So we have 15 times 3.9. We get 58.5. So 58.5 centimeters. And it's a volume measurement. So you're looking at volume cubed. So the idea is if you were to have these little cubes that were 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, how many of these would it take to fill and stack into the whole thing? And so if you were to build this life size and make everything proportional, it would take 58.5 of them that would fill that space. Okay, so anytime you're talking about volume, you're always talking about filling it with cubes, filling it with space essentially. And so your label is going to be cubed, representing you're filling in with cubes. All right, last one is we're going to find the area of a cylinder. So it's still the volume is going to be the area of the base times the height. It's just the area of your base is a circle. So here's our circle. It has a radius of not 5, that's the diameter. So the radius is 2.5. It's going to be half of that. So the area of that is pi r squared, which is pi times 2.5 squared. All right, so I want to see, we're rounding it to the nearest 10th. Okay, so we'll throw that in the calculator. We're looking at pi times 2.5 squared. So we're getting 19.63, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to end up using the whole value. I'm not going to lose that value, but right now it is 19.63. All right, so I want to keep it as accurate as possible. So that is actually the area of the base, which is a circle. So that's that done. So our volume is 19. We put some dots after it just to kind of like I didn't round it. So 19.63 times the height, which is 4. So if you multiply that value So on the calculator, all you have to do is just do times. You notice it'll take the previous answer times 4. And there it is. So now I'll round it to the nearest 10th. So it can be as accurate as possible. So that 3 doesn't do anything to the 5. So we're looking at 78.5. 78.5 inches cubed. All right, so that's how they change, is just the shape of the base. That's literally the only difference. Other than that, it's just always the area of that base times whatever the height is. All right, and so that was finding the volume of prisms and cylinders.